Good morning, everyone. I'm here to talk one more time why the death penalty should be abolished in Texas. But to start, I'd like to ask you guys a question. I don't need answer, I just want you to think about it. Why do we kill people who kill people to show killing people is wrong? So, to start, I would like to do some brief considerations that I think is important to know. First, the United States of America holds the second largest number of executions per year, only second to China. The third one is the Middle East area. The death penalty in the United States is officially used by 31 states, and since 1976, the year the Supreme Court lifted the unconstitutionality of the death penalty, Texas has been the state who executed more people on death row. So I'm gonna give you 5 main reasons why the capital punishment should be abolished. First, it condemns innocent people, and a lot. Second, is racist. Third, is arbitrary. 4, does not prevent crimes. And 5, costs the citizens a lot of money. The first and the biggest reason is that innocent people are sentenced to death. The most well-known example in Texas is the story about Anthony Graves. Anthony Graves was sentenced to death in 1994 for helping another guy in multiple murders. His conviction was based only in the other guy's testimony, a testimony that he refused later, saying that actually was false, but took the prosecutor 12 years. That means that Anthony Graves spent 12 years on death row until the judge realized that actually he was an innocent man. Also, 66% of all death penalties are reversed during the appeals because they contain serious legal errors. And as Jade said in our debate, and I searched the resource, according to the death penalty organization, they have 4% of all executed people are innocent. That means 120 of 3,000 are innocent. Also, Black and Latinos are more likely to be condemned to death. I think you can see that here in the United States, the country has not solved its problem of ethics and racial issues yet. So research says, like Killian, in the research that he did in 2006, that people who decide about executions intend to discriminate Black and Latinos. Studies also declare the racial characteristics of victims also influence of who receives a death sentence. In fact, Amnesty International tells us that 77% of people executed on death row were condemned for murdering a white person. Third, the capital penalty is also arbitrary. According to the Amnesty International, 81% of people condemned to death could not afford their own lawyer during the trials. In the case of Texas, this is even worse because here we don't have a public defense system. So what happens is the judge will appoint a lawyer to your case, and the court-appointed lawyer will not get paid as much as a private lawyer will be to defend you. And it's a big process. It's a process that usually takes more than 10 years, and this lawyer will be overworked and not well paid. So consequently, he's not gonna give you the best defense. And that's why you probably will be condemned to death. So the death penalty is arbitrary because a person who didn't kill anybody can be condemned to death because of a lack of a good defense. And a person who killed somebody can be innocent, can be considered innocent because he had a good defense. Also, capital punishment does not decrease crime rates. Otherwise, in North Carolina, when the execution stops, homicide occurrence actually declined. Also, 7 of 10 most violent crime-ridden states have the death penalty. So if the death penalty decrease the crime rates, why seven of the 10 most violent ones have death penalty? Something's wrong here. If they have death penalty, they should be the safest one if would decrease. Fagan in 2006 also noted that potential offenders are unlikely to remember who died on death row in the last years, or even the number of who died. We talked a little bit about that before in the debate, and my point is still, if the person can even remember who died or how many people die on death row, how can this punishment be more effective than other types of punishment? In fact, the rates of murders in Europe, in any European country, is at least 5 times lower than the United States, and there is no capital punishment. And finally, you have the costs. I made here a chart to show you the difference between the non-death sentence case and the death sentence case. In Kansas, for example, the state will be paying $700,000 per case instead of 1.2 million. It's $500,000 more. In Maryland, it's 3 times more. And in Texas, which is the matter here, one person that is executed costs the state $2.3 million. This same person would cost 3 times less to be 40 years in the highest security prison. This money could be invested in education, in jobs opportunity, in social welfare, in things that would actually prevent crime and not put a person and not take somebody's life. Because in short, the citizens are being overtaxed for somebody's life to be taken. Somebody that can be innocent, somebody that probably will be black or Latino, and somebody who didn't have a good defense. Also, the non-death system is faster. Death rows inmates in Texas usually spend more than 10 years on death row. We have cases of people who stay more than 20 years waiting to die. The average time to judge other types of prisoners is about 2 or 3 years. It's a much faster answer that the society can give. So in conclusion, it's unbelievable that a system that is flawed, racist, and arbitrary still prevails. Crime prevention or life sentence high costs also cannot be argued in the capital sentence favor. The non-death system is fairer, cheaper, and faster. And just to finish, I would like to go outside Texas a little bit, outside the United States. If you go around the world, I did a research a little bit, and you see a lot of people dying because of death sentence, but not because they killed somebody. We'll see people dying by death sentence because they are gay. You see people dying by death sentence because they are considered doing wizarding. You're gonna see people dying because they are committing adultery. You're gonna see people dying because they are dating before marriage. So the only thing we finish with the only way that we can finish with that is ending with the death penalty, is finish the death penalty. Because imagine how many people's lives will be saved. And I'm not talking about just murderers' life. I'm talking about people just like us that realize that they are gay, for example. So the death penalty then is a humanitarian principle and a justice issue. And here are my references.